Stock markets and gold prices are starting to consider the possibility that the GOP might just have balls. I mean, the smart money still says no, but we are starting to get the first indications. I was actually on Charles Payne's show yesterday when the market turned, ironically saying what I said in Monday's video, that bored markets, meaning gold and volatility, are saying the GOP will fold like, quote, cheap furniture. Not 5 minutes later, markets started tanking. So first, the status of the negotiations, and then what it all means. On Monday, the House Freedom Caucus, which is my favorite caucus, urged McCarthy to, quote, hold the line and simply let the Senate vote on the bill the House already passed that cuts nearly $5 trillion in spending over the next decade. A very respectable showing. After all, the big spenders are the ones asking for the debt ceiling hike, so let them make the concessions. Former President Trump also chimed in, urging McCarthy to hold out for, quote, the kitchen sink. Meanwhile, a group of 10 Democrats made a goofy offer to back McCarthy for leadership if he betrays the Freedom Caucus members who originally secured his leadership spot. Of course, it's a stupid offer. McCarthy is not a traitor, but it highlights that McCarthy is backed into a corner. Biden's handlers, meanwhile, are also facing pressure from their progressives who dream of every dollar you earn being run through a bureaucrat like coffee beans through a civet. But of course, Biden can't be bundled out of power like McCarthy could if he folds. So for now, and gloriously, markets are starting to realize maybe there won't be a deal after all. After remaining calm all through the so-called debt ceiling crisis, the Dow yesterday dropped 200 points, gold and Bitcoin both went up, and the VIX volatility index spiked to the highest in 3 weeks. So it's still nowhere near, quote, crisis levels, but the first glimmer that Republicans could actually get something this time. By the way, everybody's favorite predatory bank, JP Morgan, piled in saying to short small company stocks. Note, this is the same JP Morgan who just a few weeks ago wanted to prosecute short sellers of bank stocks, but are apparently eager to take a dump on the dining room table of any small business they can. Now, there's still little hope of my admittedly unrealistic dream of a default that issues new debt for the widows and orphans and screws China and Wall Street, but it is edging closer to my slightly more realistic dream of just letting the debt ceiling hit so we get a free balanced budget amendment and end the deficits immediately. Of course, the smart money is still on what's always happened, a uniparty sellout that slows the runaway freight train from 80 miles an hour to 79.8 on paper, so they can pump that baby to 90 once the news cycle moves on. Still, every day they're not making deals, and every day the markets notice is a good one. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.